This will be a video describing the Rep Kit bag. The product number on this is TUS-12-REP-KIT, K-I-T. Comes in a nice carrying bag so you can keep everything together. What we're going to do is look at the different materials, and we will show how to demo each of those materials. Usually I start with a fill stick repair. There's a block of wood that is provided in the kit. This is actually a piece of UV flooring, solid oak, I believe, or hickory on this one. I like it for a demo block because of the strong grain, some color variation, allows us to show the different features of the products that are within the kit. So we're going to start with a fill stick repair, just a basic how-to on how to utilize those fill sticks. The blade, you just extend out, pull back on the little knob, and that's supposed to lock it in place. I just spin that around and I'll create several small defects, about the size of nail holes. We're then going to go to the fill stick assortment box. There's a 72 assortment in the kit, and I look for a color that's a couple of shades darker than what I think I'm going to need. We're going to take that fill stick, rub it back and forth across the defect until it fills. I've made sure that I don't have any splinters sticking up, and we're just going to rub that fill stick into the defect. Now, a lot of people think you're supposed to just take a rag and rub that back off, but what happens is we shine that area up. Because the fill stick is wax, it can make a shiny spot if we try to remove all of that material just with a rag. So I'm going to take the scraper blade that's provided in the kit and level back off the repair, removing the excess material. I then can take the rag on the end of my finger and very carefully clean that surrounding area, and that will keep you from shining the area up. In the event we need to change colors, maybe we get a little too dark, a little too light, we can always dig it back out, select a new color, and reapply. We can also come back in with a marker and add color to that defect, to that fill. The next thing that I usually demo is the markers. And I'll take and scrape back an edge so that we have a sand through on an edge. Everybody's familiar with those in the shop. So what I'll do is select a color, and for this one the medium oak does a pretty good job of matching, and I'm just going to rub that along the edge and replace that color. This marker, mark it on the surface there, actually dries in about 8 to 10 seconds and is colored fast. If we take a rag, we're not going to remove that. Same way on the edge. That's one of the benefits to our markers, is that they are color fast and don't have to be top coated. If we do top coat a marker, we want to be very careful to look at the color intensity, as it can sometimes intensify when we put a clear coat over the top. One of the new products we have available is what we call a blender marker. And so I'm purposely going to take a marker that's quite a bit too dark for this edge, and I'm going to get a little heavy with it. Now again, this dries in 8 to 10 seconds and is color fast. But I can take the blender marker and re-wet that and blend that in to the surrounding area. Same way on the surface here, if we get a little too much, we can always come back in and carefully reduce that, blend that in, reshape it, So that's the blender marker. Pretty handy, and it's gaining popularity very fast as people become aware of it. So that's the basic demo that I'll do. We're going to go over a few other products that are in the kit, and we'll address each one of those in a clip. I have the burn-in sticks that we utilize with the burn-in knife. We have powder sticks. These are for adding color to the surface. These do need to be top coated. We also have the epoxy. And again, we'll address that in a video later in the video. We have CA glues. This would be the debonder, the accelerator, and the glue. The kit comes with the medium viscosity. We do have it in thin, thick, and medium. We have a couple of examples of customer care kits, one for a pigmented finish and one for a stained finish, and those can give your customer an idea of what they can provide to that end user. We also have in the kit a sample of the valve action marker that allows the customer to load their paint into a single pen rather than having to get a custom color and a minimum of 24 quantity on those. We'll also address the dye-based toners as well as clear coats and how and when to use those. The kit comes with a pre-cat high solids 30 sheen and an extra flow pre-cat 30 sheen. The extra flow does not leave a halo, and so it allows us to do true spot repairs. One other item in the kit is a powder putty. This is a putty that comes to the customer in powder form, and then they will add water to the desired consistency. Dries pretty quickly. Of course, air movement and temperature affect the dry time. So to speed it up, a warmer environment, more airflow creates a faster dry. Sands very easily, and these are designed for raw wood, or what we refer to as white wood. It's going to be available in several colors, and we'll address that when we do the little video clip on that. There's also a catalog in the kit. Oftentimes as I'm demoing the products, I'll turn to that page and highlight those areas. Another new item that is not in the catalog currently, but will be in the new catalog due out shortly, is the brush tip graining pen. And again, we'll demo that. All of the independent products, individual products, will have videos on our website, finishrepair.com, to access those. This portion of the video, we are going to demonstrate how to utilize the brush tip grain pens. We have a defect here, and I'm purposely going to pick a color that's probably going to be a little bit too light for the repair. I'm going to fill that area in. We'll take the scraper and remove the excess material. I'm going to take a rag again and clean that surrounding area, being careful not to hollow back out the repair. Now the defect actually goes through some of the very strong grain lines. This is a brush tip grain pen. Actually has a brush tip on it. The harder you push, the wider the brush splays out and creates that grain. So with the grains, I want to be in line, not coming at it from the side, trying to put that grain line in like this. It's going to cause a sweeping effect with that. So I want to get in line with it, taking dry it off on a rag before I do this. So we'll come in here and just, that way we don't have excess material on the tip. And I'm going to very carefully come in and draw in a grain line. I can add another little grain line to the side here. And again, while it's wet, we can manipulate it, but once it dries, it's going to be color fast and not rub off. So that's how we can utilize the brush tip grain pen to put in a very, very fine line. These have the same type of ink as in our felt markers. So they're going to be color fast, don't require a top coat. I'll demo here just a little bit how to get different effects with it. If we press down, we can get a wider line. Again, when I want that really, really fine line, I want to dry that tip just a little bit so that I can put in extremely narrow lines. In one of the other videos, we talked about the blender marker, and that's where these can be pretty handy as well. Let's say that we came in and we put in just a little too much material. I can carefully come back and straighten and also remove the marker ink. If I want to reduce this one down to a hairline, I can do that. I just want to wipe the tip off and come back, and I can narrow that back up to a very fine line, even though it was very wide to start with. And now it's dry and color fast and will not wipe off.